My name's Andy. I'm 29 years of age. I come from Scotland. I come from an area called Western Bartonshire. It's about 25 minutes from Glasgow. Bit about myself. As a kid, I was introduced to drugs at an age of 12, 13-year-old. Started smoking cannabis, drinking alcohol. Just, it was a normal thing to do then. Everybody was doing it, my friends. I mean, you were different if you didn't do it, there was something wrong with you. Kind of done that, went to school, enjoyed school, then just got older. At the age of 16, got my first job, great job, working at a big construction site. Started hanging about with older friends, which were friends of my brother. That's when I was first introduced to heroin. At the time I didn't know much about heroin. I was a bit naive towards it. As I says, I was working at the time. I was sitting with these people and they were being sick all the time, and I was wondering what it was, and they told me it was this drug, heroin. And I said, well, I've got money, I'll get you some. And then from there on, cut a long story short, I started taking heroin for about 5 years of my life. In that period of time, I was in and out of prison for shoplifting, for stealing, to feed my addiction. I lost my family, my friends, everything in my area. When you use something like heroin, you become scum of the earth. Nobody wants to know you, everybody looks down on you. I mean, that was in the papers every week. Yet, when I was on heroin, I was just doing what I had to do to get by and feel normal every day. As a community, I lost my community. Nobody could understand what I was doing or why I was doing it, but I was addicted, so that's why I was doing it. During that period of time, at the age of 21, I think it was about my ninth time in prison, always short time, 3 months, 4 months, here and there, always coming out, no support, no help, so just, I didn't know anything else but to do to get back to the drugs, so you end up back in prison just all the time. 21, finally said, this is enough, I can't handle this anymore. I broke down in prison. They call it rock bottom, I suppose. Started just emotionally drained, crying, nobody to talk to, didn't even have a prison officer to talk to. They don't want to know, they're not paid to listen to people that have got drug problems. I seek support from an organisation in Glasgow, and I just decided that I was going to change, and I did from then on, but well, I thought I was changing. For about 6 months I got new friends and stuff. It was a really good feeling, but I was using alcohol, so like every day I was drinking, which I thought was fun, but I was just replacing my heroin addiction with alcohol addiction, which a lot of people seem to do because alcohol is accepted, alcohol is legal, it's alright, have a drink, it's cool, part of life, you'll go right. For then about three years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was ended up working down in London, driving machines again, construction, loads of money, drinking. Had enough, hit my rock bottom there, decided coming home. From the time that I gave up heroin, I always wanted to help people. I find myself a kind person, I always wanted to do something in my community. So I came back home, got introduced to a small agency that works with a small community drugs agency, working with people. Started, contacted them, I started doing a bit of voluntary with them. Great, brilliant. A lot of people about that I know because, and they know my past. Then I started a year-long programme which was a training course specifically for people that had problems in the past with, i.e. alcohol or drugs, but were looking to move on and try and kind of put stuff back into their community and help people. So I'd done that course for a year, which was the best course that I've ever done. I'm now in full-time employment with a big organisation working within a criminal justice type project within my area. But a lot of people at the time said to me that, what you doing, like, how, if you want to do this work, why don't you go to another area? But in my heart, I just, it's a challenge, and I know what people go through in my area and how difficult it is for them to even speak to somebody that's not using drugs. I mean, if you sit down in a bar and you sit somebody that's using alcohol and somebody that's using drugs, I mean, they'll like no talk to each other. It's a total divide between people because drugs are so looked down and not accepted in society. I mean, for people, some people, it's part of life. There's so much drugs and stuff about, but and then there's things put in place like part of my service is a very good service, but there's a lot of things that just cause more trouble for people trying to get help than anything else. But I've had it since the last 2-3 years. I've had a really good time helping people within my community, and I've not used alcohol for 2.5 years now, and I've not used heroin for 8 years, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. So it can be done, and it's only you that can do it, and focus on what you want to achieve and what you want to do. So